Esri has a product that allows airports to conduct and visualize airfield inspections and see that information in real time. The tools allow the airport to dispatch workers linked to work order management systems, and most importantly, it's compliant with federal aviation regulations. Here's the workflow. Stakeholders and operations managers have access to a dashboard that allows them to see the status of inspections, while airfield inspectors take a mobile device out into the field to conduct inspections and identify discrepancies that are submitted and stored in databases and mapped. And using webhooks, our technology connects to third-party work order management systems that allow maintenance personnel to open work orders and complete work so that this process can be re-inspected and all the issues identified during these discrepancies can be resolved and closed. All of this in one web-based set of tools. This is that Part 139 Airfield Inspections dashboard, and as you can see, I, as a user, can interact with this secure web-based tool to allow me to see the location and the information about individual inspections that inspectors have conducted. In real time, I can see that information as well. I can see details about issues and discrepancies, including photographs, dates and times of those inspections. This dashboard allows me to filter by inspector or inspection period or any other types of attributes associated with the inspections. You can see here the list of discrepancies and go through each of those individual discrepancies and to see details about them in this dashboard, as well as imagery or photographs that were taken by the inspectors. And this could happen in real time as well. So as I zoom in or out, then I can see the location of all my issues. They're also subdivided based on Part 139 areas on the air side. And as I interact with this dashboard, you can see the metrics drive other parts of the dashboard, including the widgets and lists. So the dashboard is interactive, and it gives me, as an operations manager or anyone in the C-suite, direct access to the status of airfield inspections that are compliant with Part 139. So I can interact and identify individual workers, how many inspections they've done through time or within a specific geographic area or over time. Let's have a look at the form that the inspectors are now using. Focusing on the left-hand panel here, I'm going to be able to take this form out into the field on my mobile device, and then as an inspector, quickly select those bullets that are required for me to do my inspections, and including things like the weather, the inspections that I'm going to conduct today are with the air side. And I've completed all my inspections that are compliant with the FAA. Now all I have to do is select that I've inspected each of these areas and that they're all satisfactory for auditing purposes. And all that data then is stored in a warehouse, including the dates and times. And once that's submitted, it's stored in a database. Now in this case, I'm going to be an inspector who discovers an issue. This is during a nighttime inspection. And during my daily inspection, remember, the weather is captured automatically, or I could enter that information in if it's slightly different than what is tagged in the form. If I see an issue during my airfield inspections, I would then zoom into the area where that issue is located using my GPS or just tapping on the map where I notice this issue. It's tagged with a lat long and the location is also stored. In this case, I noticed the tetrahedron was damaged and the lights were inoperative. If I discovered fault, I would select that. Now, in terms of the issue groups, these are broken down based on Part 139 areas. So this is compliant with the FAA. So this is a lighting issue. And because it is a lighting issue, then these conditions are filtered. So I don't have to do much in terms of typing. This is all selectable, and it's a smart form. I take a photograph of that issue, and it's stored along with the issue location. Assign a priority for making repairs, and if it requires a notice to air mission, then I could link directly to that FAA webpage where I could then log in as an inspector, issue the notice to air mission right away. I can't repair it myself, and then I go about my airfield inspections, and notice as I go through each of these areas, we'll see that the Part 139.311 has been automatically noted as unsatisfactory. So again, for auditing, these issues are logged in a database, which then for recall are stored and then can be accessed later. The form is intended to be really quick and easy to use by the inspector, and it complies with this workflow. So now we've seen the dashboard. The inspectors have done their work to identify discrepancies and log them. That data is stored in a database. It's also co-located on a map. And using webhook technology, now we're able to link those work orders through a third-party work order management system that the airport may be using to their own method to generate work orders and then complete that work. Once the work's done, then we'd have someone go out using an app and then re-inspect to verify they can close that work order, like you'll see here. This dashboard is the list of those issues that are active and require re-inspections, and here are the 2 that I'm going to go out and do. All I have to do is zoom into that location, select that inspection, and then information about the original discrepancy is populated in this form that then I could complete very quickly, which would close the work order and then note that issue as having been resolved. So intended to be very quick and easy and compliant with the FAA regulations. If I had any comments, I'd place them there. This is done on my iPad or a tablet. We also have a similar solution to meet the FAA requirements for the airports to do wildlife analysis and inspections. This is that dashboard, and you can see here that I could use filters to then identify wildlife observations through time, the locations of individual wildlife observations, and then details about those observations, as well as any mitigation efforts that were required. Those things, again, are captured by the individual who is reporting or observing the wildlife, and then they're summarized in these dashboards like you see here. Again, filtering based on the type of interaction the inspector or the mitigator had is simple and easy, and it makes quick understanding of what's ongoing at the airport. You can see in this case, I could then filter by species type. Within that, then I would be able to see a result on the map and then a list in the details of the types of inspections. I could sort by any of these in the field. We also have another app for airport fueling, which is an FAA requirement. In this case, a vendor's going out to do the inspection of their mobile fuelers, and because the FAA requires those to be audited, they're stored in a database that can be shared internally or even with the FAA. So I could see details about individual issues or discrepancies. There was a problem with this fuel truck. So those things are recorded by inspectors in the field using this form. With quick drop downs, I could then select the individual mobile unit, and the drop downs again allow me as an inspector to go out and then conduct my routine fueling inspections quickly. That data again is stored in a database for auditing by the FAA and then is pushed back into this dashboard so that decision makers can not only see these individual inspections in near real time, but then start to summarize those things and take corrective action if those are associated with trends that we can see on the map, or for safety management. Also, these tools can be used as well. Once a fueling issue has been resolved, then an inspector would select this from the list and be able to go out and then re-inspect it so that the vendor who might have had that issue could be documented as having resolved it. Again, for auditing purposes, this is very important and a requirement of the FAA. All these are based on agreements with the FAA. Your inspectors, you would get these forms approved. There's many airports using them now. It's very intuitive and easy to configure. The last form is actually a dashboard that you could share even with your auditing agency like the FAA. Shows the total number of inspections through times, the discrepancies associated with each of those, breakdowns based on the shift of the inspections, and then there's an inspection log that the inspectors at the FAA could filter based on date time or within the last period of time. We can see the inspection counts change as well. They're broken down based on the type of inspections, daily specials, routine, etc. And then we can also see the inspection counts here. So again, based on technology that the airport already has, these are quick to deploy, easy to configure, have been approved by the FAA, and are compliant with Part 139 requirements. This set of tools is a secure web-based method for you to comply with the FAA's requirements to conduct daily Part 139 inspections.